Monday Night Raw was in New Orleans, Louisiana tonight, and you started the show off with Sasha Banks making her way to the ring. And this was not a good promo at all by Sasha Banks. Some might have liked it. I thought this just dragged on forever. And this has really always been her big weakness. We always wonder, why is Sasha not on Becky's level or Charlotte's level or Ronda's level? Why isn't she one of the top female stars? The truth is, I think the biggest reason wasn't necessarily her in-ring skills, it's her mic skills. She's never been a good talker. She's been good as a heel back in NXT, but as a face, she was not good in here. She wasn't good at all. She was struggling. I did not like her delivery. I thought she smiled too much. I thought she panned too much. She kept talking about WrestleMania and how basically she was jealous of Becky Lynch. She said she didn't care about the match, but it was weird. You were crying on the floor, which she did. I guess she admitted to that. I guess Ryan Satin, whoever reported it, was right. But then she says she doesn't care, so why were you crying on the floor if you don't care? It doesn't make any sense to me right here. It's just like, ugh, I don't get that. She's pissed off Becky got to main event, and she's mad that her paycheck was smaller than Becky's, and she went on vacation, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a horrible promo. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like all her momentum's already gone. She says she deserves all the glory. Natalya comes out, they get into a brawl, they break it up, and they're going to have a match later on the show. Not a good promo by Sasha. As good as she looks, its delivery was not good. I don't know if she's really going to be I don't think she has it to be a top female star. She's just not good on the mic. They have the longest Street Profit segment. It went on for like 20 minutes. I swear. Oh, God. These guys are so annoying. Now you have a stupid tag team trial match no one's going to give a shit about. You have Heavy Machinery, Revival, Lucha House Party, Croc, and Zack Ryder, B-Team, Viking Raiders, Gallows and Anderson, and Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. I guess the winner gets to face Strowman and Styles at the Clash of Champions show. So I guess they'll have to do double duty. They'll probably start with the tag titles early in the show. They'll have to main event for the Universal title later in the show. You had Drew McIntyre come out for his King of the Ring match. Before that, I think he went to an interview with Ricochet, with one of the ladies. I think it was Sarah. And then you have McIntyre come out. You have McIntyre and Ricochet. You have a very good match. Shocking upset. Ricochet pins Drew McIntyre cleanly. Went on for a long time, but that was a big upset. Ricochet pins McIntyre, 630 splash. I'm stunned because we know how much Vince loves Drew McIntyre. The fact that they're beating McIntyre already is not a good sign if you're Drew McIntyre, and it's certainly not a good sign if you're a big fan of his. They've had him lose cleanly to Ricochet. Ricochet advances. Remember they were going to do Drew McIntyre and The Undertaker in a singles match? I don't think so. Undertaker's a big fan of McIntyre. I heard The Rock is, Booker T is. I think some of the biggest names all support him. I'm sure Vince likes him, but he loses clean to Ricochet on Raw. It's no disrespect to Ricochet, but I mean, if you're going to be a top guy, I don't know if you should be losing cleanly in a singles match on Raw, but it's what it is, I guess. They go backstage with this time with Sarah Scooper. Yeah, she looks great too, by the way. She's gorgeous. She's interviewing, and she does talk a little bit awkwardly. I don't know. She does sound a little bit robotic. Kind of like that one girl who Dasha, who they had to fire. She's kind of like blonde Dasha, but she does a little bit robotic. She introduced Strowman and Rollins to have a back and forth. Strowman wants the title. It was a little bit of an awkward segment. It was okay. So I guess that Seth basically just accepts Braun's challenge, and right away, it was funny. They first announced the match, and then right away they have a graphic for the main event of Clash of Champions. It's kind of funny. Miz is out. He talks about his 13-year career. No one cares. Faces Baron Corbin. Corbin beats Miz. No one cares about that. We can just skip that right away. They had Baron Corbin to get on the throne after the match, and he gets interviewed by one of the ladies, Kayla Braxton, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It was fine. It was just I'm not a big fan of his. He sucks. Gallows and Anderson backstage. They cut a promo. It's alright. They show what happened last week with Ray and Dominic. So they actually have Bayley and Nikki Cross, a strange match. Alexa is out with Nikki. We don't really see what Alexa's going to do. I'm just not a big fan of Alexa and Nikki as a team. I like Alexa as a single star, I think, or just have her as a valet or her own segment on the show. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of her with Nikki as a team. Just have no chemistry. Bailey wins. I don't know what. I guess Bailey. Yeah, she's facing Charlotte. She's the one anyway. Strowman's in the back with I think it's Kayla Braxton this time, if I'm not mistaken. They really got some good-looking interview. 8 ladies doing interviews backstage. Kayla's a good-looking woman too. She interviews him about the match. He wants to be AJ, so it'd be interesting if they had Strowman beat AJ, because at Clash of Champions I would set up like a winner-take-all match. Both are tag champs. One's U.S. champ, one's Universal champ. I guess winner-take-all, but they didn't do that. You go to a stupid tag team Strowman match. I don't care about this at all. You had Eric and Ivar beat the B team first, and you have Gals Anderson come out. You have a double DQ. Both teams are out. They're disqualified. You had Rude and Ziggler beat Dorado and Grand Metalik, and then Rude and Ziggler beat the Revival, and then Rude and Ziggler beat Hawkins and Ryder, and then they beat Heavy Machinery. So they're really trying to get these two guys over. They're really going to get Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler over as a team. They're trying to do it. Hey, why not? You know what? They have nothing to do. I'd rather not see them. I'd wish they would leave. I'm not a fan of them. They had them do an interview with after the match, and they cut a promo. I just don't like them with Sarah Screamer, by the way. I'm not a fan. So I should go away, to be honest. Rude's too old. But it is something. They have something for them, I guess. You go to Sasha Banks, Natalya. Sasha, I don't know. Her return's been underwhelming so far. Then Natalya dominated early. She was mad, but Sasha worked over her arm. Sasha kicks her ass for the rest of the match. She destroys her. Beats on her injured arm. Sasha gets her into Banks' team, and this time she traps the arm from Natalya getting to the ropes. Natty taps out. Natalya's arm is smashed. Sasha leaves. She won. She gets mad again. She goes and beats up Natalya some more. Puts her in the Banks' team. It leaves Natalya unconscious. Just destroys her. And they're trying to get her over. I don't know. And AJ Styles in the interview area. He's being interviewed, and he says it's a bunch of bull. What happened? Says he's going to beat Braun tonight. You had Cedric Alexander and Cesaro. I don't know what they're doing with Cesaro. Cesaro just may as well go to AEW. So Cedric Alexander wins. I guess he's facing someone next week in the King of the Ring finals. AJ's backstage getting ready for his match with Braun. They show highlights of what happened at Fox Sports with the 24/7 title. WWE's working with Fox now with SmackDown, but I guess they had this thing for the 24/7 title, and they had some guys on the Fox show pin R-Truth, but then Elias won it back. It was stupid. I don't know. I was thinking it's goofy. It's not a fan of that 24/7 title. I think it sucks. It's not the hardcore title. The hardcore title was so much more fun than the 24/7 title. All that is stupid roll-ups and R-Truth popping up. No one cares about this fucking 24/7 bullshit title. It fucking sucks. Now you have Ziggler and Rude. Now you did the interview. I got it mixed up. This was where it was. It was later in this show, yeah. With Sarah, yeah. I thought I saw it earlier. This is where they had it. Again, it was fine. Ford is in the back with Dawkins. They're ripping on the match. And all of a sudden, we see Braun Strowman walking in the back, and thank God it's over. They show some of the highlights from the Firefly Funhouse. One thing I have to say about Bray, I think it's great that we don't see him. I don't want to see him every week. I think we should only see him every couple weeks. Every few weeks, we should not see The Fiend at all. We should not see it. You can do the Firefly Funhouse, but I do not want to see The Fiend much. It should be special attraction. Then, of course, they'll ruin it, but at least give us a year to be like last year. How long did the original Bray Wyatt family stay for? That was really good. And then before it got really stale. About 6-7 months before he lost to John Cena, that's when everything went to hell. They tried to revive it a couple of times, but I think with Bray, just keep him off TV and it'll be better. We're not to see him much. So main event, AJ Styles, Braun Strowman for U.S. title. I love the ending. So you have AJ and Braun. The referee gets knocked to the ground. Then you have Gallows and Anderson come in. Strowman kicks her ass. He grabs a chair. He hits them both with a chair. He's about to hit AJ with the chair. And AJ Styles does the Eddie Guerrero lie, cheat, and steal. He goes down, and Braun has the chair. The referee sees it. He sees AJ down. He heard a noise. He disqualifies Braun. Eddie Guerrero's legacy lives forever. I loved it. I loved the ending. It's a tribute to Eddie. It was not in Texas, though. If it was like in El Paso, it would have been perfect. But it was in New Orleans, but that was a cool tribute. They didn't mention Eddie, of course. The announcers are idiots. But AJ gets the win by DQ. Strowman gets mad. He beats down AJ. He beats down Gallows Anderson. Destroys them all. Gives them all the running power slam. Destroys AJ. Leaves them all laying. Strowman poses, and I think he's losing to Rollins at Clash of Champions. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd rather see Strowman champ as Rollins, but we'll see where they go. And that was it for Raw tonight from New Orleans. Not a bad show. I thought it was okay.